Hey everybody, vegan prepper husband Adam here, and as promised in my EDC video, wanted to do a full review and list of modifications that I made to this SOG Snarl knife. Um, I picked this knife up about 2 years ago, and I was looking for a knife that was small, easily concealable, and fixed blade, and easy to deploy. So I tried out a few different knives. Um, One of them was the K-Bar TDC knife, and that was a great knife, uh, a very interesting knife. It's the one that's got like a 45-degree handle on it, and I liked it for a lot of reasons, but I didn't like it because it didn't fall into that category of easily concealable for me. It's a very cool, well-made knife, um, but with my body type, I'm very thin, and anything under my shirt pretty much shows off very easily. So it imprinted badly, so it was very easy to tell I had something underneath my shirt, and so that didn't work out for me. So I wanted something that was easily concealable. So this knife I found, and it fit the bill. It clips onto my belt. This clip here, it's easy to put on, it's easy to take off, and it works out very well for what I like to use it for, which is just a easily concealed personal defense knife. It's held in this sheath just by friction. It works extremely well. Um, it doesn't clip in. It's just the friction on the blade that holds it in. I've never had any issues drawing it. I've never had any issues with it falling out. So it does take maybe close to 10 pounds of force to pull it out. So if you're just pulling it, it stays in there pretty good. So I'll put my thumb up against the side and it pops out nice and easily with that little bit of extra pressure. Um, but so there's the knife. Uh, I've liked carrying it. I put it on and I don't really notice that it's there. It's lightweight, um, and there were a couple things I didn't like about it when I first got it, and I'll get into that in just a minute. Um, but if you notice, it's got two holes in it, and every time I hand this knife to somebody to check it out, they will immediately put two fingers through there and then comment on how uncomfortable that is. And that is because that is not how you're supposed to hold this knife. So if you put two fingers through, then you're going to have your fingers very spread apart. And when you make a fist, then it's extremely uncomfortable and the knife is extremely unstable in your grip. So when I am drawing this knife, I wear it on the front of my belt. So if I'm drawing it with my right hand, I'll put one finger through and the other finger hooks underneath, so you can get a better view there. And then my hand wraps around like that. So I can draw it. I have what is basically a punching knife, or I guess it'd be considered like a push knife, or a slashing knife. It's very solid, very secure in my hand. So that's one finger through and the other in the finger groove. So then if I'm drawing with my left hand, which if my right hand is otherwise occupied, I can draw this with my left hand, and I'll start with my pinky in that first hole, and I'll wrap my ring finger in. You can see a better view of that, and then close down like that, draw it, and then it's more of a straight up slashing knife. So the second hole doesn't really get used for anything by me the way I use it. So yeah, that's a left hand draw. That's how I was gonna sit my hand. Again, it's very stable because my hand is wrapped around that second hole, and it's very solid. So for usage, very happy with it. It's durable. It maintains an edge. Honestly, I don't pull it out to use it for normal stuff like cutting open a package or something. I'm always going to go to my pocket knife for that. But sometimes, say my right hand is doing something, and I can't get to my my folding knife that's in my right pocket. It's handy to pull this out with my left hand, and I can cut a box or whatever I need to do with it. It's not really what I carry it for. I carry it as a personal defense knife. So I wanted it to be easy to deploy. It is easy to deploy with either hand. Comes out very easily and stays stable on my belt. Haven't had any issues with it popping off my belt. I did flatten the clip out a little bit when I first got it because it was sprung out a little bit so it wouldn't hold as tight as I wanted to. So that was the first thing I didn't like, was the clip was just a little too loose. That was easy to fix. I just took a pair of pliers and I squashed it on that. No big deal. There was two things on the blade itself that I was not a fan of. Hopefully I can get a decent picture of this. If you can see right here, it's flat. That is work that I did to the knife. The blade came all the way back to here. Now, it's probably not a big deal, but I pictured myself pulling this knife and getting my finger in the wrong place here and getting right onto the blade. Because of how short the knife is and how interestingly it fits into my hand, I felt like I wanted to have a little bit of a gap there. So about 3/8 of an inch I took and I just filed down so that that's a blunt portion of the blade. And it's not a portion of the blade I ever could imagine using. So having it gone doesn't affect the knife in any way. Really, the business end of this knife is the point. So back here, it was just like a little bit of a safety feature I decided to add, that if I pull it and I pull it weird, I've got that little buffer there to where I'm not going to slice my finger. I don't need to cut my finger trying to use my knife. Again, it's probably not a big deal. I just thought for myself, let's add a little bit of extra safety in there. Not a big deal. Now the other thing was, and again, see if I can get a decent picture. You can see on this finger hole, there's a chamfered edge. This one has a chamfered edge too. But as it got to the tapered section of the blade, that chamfer disappeared. So it's like they chamfered it first and then they ground the blade down to shape. So it left this sharp edge right here, and it was surprising how sharp that edge was, where I could actually almost cut my finger with it if I were to push into that. It was a really bad manufactured edge. So I just took and filed to put that chamfer back in on that edge right there. It was like a 3/4 of an inch bit where I just had to file that, and it made it more comfortable to use. And I don't need to saw my finger up. So it was just two little things I did to make the knife a little bit nicer to use every day, even though I don't pull it out every day. It's just when I do pull it out, I want to make sure that it's functioning the way I expect it to function. So making that little change there and making that little change to the blade, I felt like made it a little bit safer and a little bit more friendly to use. So I have been carrying it for about 2 years, and I don't know if I mentioned yet, I don't carry it every single day. I did mention in my EDC video, I don't carry it every single day because it's not always practical to do that, if I'm wearing running shorts or something. But for most of the time, if I have a belt on and I have a long enough shirt, this will go with me. And it's nice having that little bit of fast access blade. I can get my Spyderco out pretty fast, but it's 2 steps. I have to pull it out of my pocket and I have to open it. This knife, and if I need it in a jam, all I have to do is just bring it out and it's ready to go. So it's worked out very well. It's very simple. It's sturdy, and used for what it's designed for, it does extremely good job. I don't think I would like this as a everyday carry standalone knife. It might do okay for that, but the blade shape is such that, very flat. It might be fine. I just can't see using that every day and being happy with that as my only knife. So I will stick to having a pocket knife all the time. And then this is my very successful backup knife. So yeah, guys, post any comments, any questions you have about this knife. I'll try to get back and answer any of them that I can. And I'm not sponsored in any way by SOG. If SOG is watching, I would love to be sponsored by you. But as of yet, I am not. But it is an awesome knife. I've been very happy with it. And with those little modifications, it makes it a lot nicer. So if you guys have any questions, please post down below, and subscribe, and we will keep content coming your way. Thanks, guys.